Greetings everyone, and thank you for joining us on this week's edition of G News Plus. I'm Luke Wood and this is the news from Gyeonggi Province this week. The on-site senior officials meeting of Gyeonggi Province was held in Anyang City recently to discuss ways to prevent safety hazards that exist in the everyday life of residents. Our reporter was there. This street in a school zone is relatively safe because there is no fast-through traffic allowed here, and pedestrians are guided by the members of the Mothers Green Club during student commuting hours. However, even school zones like these are not free from traffic accidents. The senior officials of the Gyeonggi Provincial Administration convened at a library in Anyang City to review the safety status of children and residents and discussed ways to improve urban safety with specialists.
유치원하고 특수학교를 중심으로 어린이 보호구역이 확대돼야 할 필요가 있고요. 그리고 불법 주정차 같은 환경을 좀 개선하고 질서의식을 제고할 수 있는 방안이 필요할 것입니다.
The officials also discussed crime prevention measures and viewed the CCTV monitoring system at the Anyang Integrated CCTV Monitoring Centre, which is known to have contributed to the recent reduction of the city's crime rate by 18%.
전문가를 채용을 해서 행정 시스템을 보강을 하고 또 이 분야에 집중적인 관심을 가지고 경찰과 또 시군과 교육청과
The members of the meeting, led by Governor Kim, also visited a nearby market to inspect fire prevention facilities and discuss the improvement of administrative fire prevention measures for places more vulnerable to fire. A branch of the Gyeonggi Employment Centre assisted its 4,000th successful job searcher. This is a remarkable achievement since the centre was opened only 8 months ago. Every day, 17 people on average find new employment through the centre. Oh Se-in is an employee of an automobile parts manufacturing company. He was a 4,000th job applicant who successfully found employment through the Suwon Station branch of the Gyeonggi Employment Centre. He landed the job only 10 days after he called the job centre to place a job inquiry.
구직 활동을 하면서 경기도 일자리 센터에서 이렇게 좋은 직장을 구해 주셨고 집에서도 가깝고 일하는 데도 아주 편하고 그래서 아주 좋습니다.
직원들 구하기가 좀 힘든 편이 있는데 일자리 센터에서 소개를 해 주셔 가지고 인력을 보충할 수 있었고
This job centre was opened at Suwon City 8 months ago and has since been inundated by employment applications from the station users. This job centre has received more than 40,000 job applications and arranged 26,000 interviews since it was opened 8 months ago. 17 applicants succeeded in signing an employment contract every day on average. Many citizens favour this job centre because it operates throughout the year and is located conveniently close to stations, offering easy accessibility to commuters.
교통이 편리한 곳으로 이제 이전하고 상담사의 역량 강화로서 변화하는 노동시장이나 산업 구조에 적응할 수 있는 그런 교육을 시킴으로써.
In addition to the relocation of employment centres, the Gyeonggi Provincial Administration also plans to expand employment centre activities through the establishment of year-round long interview facilities and the organisation of job fairs. The Gyeonggi Provincial Government and Woody Bank signed an MOU for joint financial support of small and medium-sized export companies. This company specialises in designing semiconductor parts for communication equipment and produces the parts in Taiwan and China on an OEM basis. It is a venture company with high technological potential, but it has been facing difficulties due to financial problems.
기술 개발이 중심이 되어야 되는 중소기업들은 충분한 자금을 보유하고 시작할 수가 없기 때문에 개발 과정에서 상당한 자금난을
Under this memorandum, Woody Bank will provide unsecured loans to small and medium-sized companies recommended by Gyeonggi Province.
여러 가지 어려운 금융 여건에도 불구하고 이렇게 무담보 특별 지원을 하겠다. 좋은 선물을.
What is different about the loans under this MOU is that the beneficiaries are selected based not on security values but on their potential, which will be evaluated by the Gyeonggi administration. For this purpose, a total of 10 billion Korean won will be deposited at a guarantee fund by Woody Bank. Loan finance will be provided at a low interest upon technical evaluation of the applicant companies. Woody Bank will also provide the beneficiaries with free business consulting services.
수출 여건도 어렵고 또 여러 가지 국내 내수도 어렵기 때문에 저들이 그런 취약한 부분을 보완하고 소위 수출 경쟁력을 높이는데
This MOU is part of the realisation of the Gyeonggi Provincial Administration's policy for the promotion of small and medium enterprises, with potential for the replacement of import and the improvement of domestic technological standards. The safety standard of livestock products of Gyeonggi Province was found to be at its highest rate since 2007. The Gyeonggi Provincial Government has strengthened the inspection of livestock products for residential substances recently, and it obviously has positive outcomes. A G News Plus reporter examined the details. At this veterinary service centre, laboratory staff is busy performing livestock product safety inspections. A small piece of meat is cut and placed in a cultivating plate. It will be placed at certain temperatures for a certain period of time. They are testing to see if the meat contains antibiotics.
기존 페이퍼 검사법에서 직접 검사법으로 개선하면서 16시간 이내에 잔류물질 판독이 가능해졌습니다.
Using a more advanced testing method that takes a much shorter period, the number of test performances increased consistently from 120,000 cases in 2009 to 230,000 cases last year. This centre is now performing 6 times more tests on beef than the number of tests recommended by the Ministry of Food, Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, and 10 times more on pork. While the number of tests increased, the number of disclosure cases in which residual substances exceeded permitted limits decreased to a third.
올해도 우리가 사업량을 또 많이 늘릴 건데요. 특히 의심이 가는 축산물 규제 검사를 많이 해가지고 의심축에 대해서 점점 더 잔류물질 검사를 강화해 나갈 계획입니다.
All livestock products that contain residual substances in excess of allowed limits will be disposed of immediately, and the person responsible will be fined and placed on a 6-month special management program. Such strict control measures are making livestock products of Gyeonggi Province safe to consume. 7 public organisations in the cities of Ansan and Sihung signed an agreement for the improvement of the environment in and around their industrial complexes. A reporter met some of the people involved. It is generally perceived that industrial complexes not only harbour environmental toxins, but they also have many safety hazards. In order to change such unfavourable public perception, 7 public organisations in Ansan and Sihung decided to work together. The representative of the local administration of Ansan City, where complaints against foul odour decreased by 90% since 2005, proposed a method of eliminating fumes generated from dye factories.
fume을 제거하는 것이 저희 가장 안산시의 수건 사업입니다. 그래서 이것은 올해서부터 시작해서 저희 같은 경우에는 5개년 계획으로 해서
The city government of Sihung proposed countermeasures against pricing and the quality of activated carbon, which is used for air purification.
단기적으로는 양센터에서, 그러니까 저희 센터만 알고 있을 게 아니라 올해는 한번 활성탄 업체들한테 이제 만약에 그게 있으면 활성탄 샘플만 양센터에 줘라.
Participating organisations unanimously agreed to exchange information and administrative cooperation and support. They also agreed to tackle the matters through fusion administrative practices.
각 유관기관별로 맡은 바 협약사항을 성실히 이행하고 그 관련해서는 주기적으로 협의회를 구성해서 잘 이행되도록 최선의 노력을 다하겠습니다.
The agreement of these organisations includes plans for the establishment of an emergency response system, organisation of regular forums on hazardous chemicals, and biannual accident simulation training. The Gyeonggi Provincial Administration announced that it will implement the Cultural Properties Caring Project to protect national cultural properties by employing full-time caretakers for continuous monitoring and management. Our reporter examined the details. These 5-storey and 3-storey pagodas, which were built during the period of the Goryeo dynasty, are covered with moss. There are cracks and broken off sections, and they are covered with moss. These are registered national treasures number 12 and 13. To protect the historical and cultural heritages from further damage, the Gyeonggi Provincial Administration decided to employ 21 full-time cultural property caretakers.
오랜 기간을 이제 놀다가 이렇게 제가 하고 싶은 일을 이제 이렇게 하게 되니까 너무 가슴 뿌듯한 거예요. 귀중한 문화재니까 영구 보존할 수 있게끔 저희가 최선을 다해서.
This project has a dual purpose of protecting the cultural assets as well as providing job opportunities to people in low income brackets. It will also have an effect of preventing large expenses that may incur for renovation work. This project also includes additional management of 50 non-registered cultural heritages. The provincial administration already set aside a budget of 600 million won for this purpose.
상시적인 관리를 통해서 많은 성과가 좀 기대가 되는데요. 도지적 문화재까지 내년도에 좀 확대해 볼 그런 계획이 있습니다.
In addition to continuous monitoring, the Cultural Properties Caring Project will also include priority treatment of cultural properties during natural disaster, operation of a mobile cultural properties repair team, and the implementation of systematic preventative maintenance work. The Gyeonggi Provincial Administration opened an assistance dog sharing centre. This centre trains abandoned dogs that are kept in dog shelters to be delivered free of charge to people with disabilities to be used as assistance dogs. Hyemin is a 12-year-old girl with an intellectual disability. She is intent on talking to a dog. It looks as if she is playing with the dog, but it is her therapy session. Talking to a dog, Hyemin's condition has improved amazingly.
동물배기 수업을 하고 나서 이제 표현, 자기가 무언가 필요할 때도 말로써 하고.
There are individuals who can benefit from assistance dogs for a variety of needs, such as assistance to those with visual or hearing impairments, physical disorders or chronic illness. This assistance dog sharing centre was opened in Hwasong on March the 13th by the Gyeonggi Provincial Office. This centre selects potential candidates from abandoned dogs and trains them as assistance dogs before providing them free of charge to individuals with physical difficulties.
훈련이 되지 않은 동물들은 사실 입양 가기가 많이 어렵거든요. 그 개들의 어떤 역할에 대한 그 도움을 필요로 하는 시민들한테 많은 도움이 될 거라고 생각합니다.
There are 28,000 dogs known to be abandoned or lost annually in Gyeonggi Province alone. By utilising these dogs, the Assistance Dog Sharing Centre has also helped in the management of stray dogs.
처리하기 곤란한 개를 이곳에 연락하시면 저희들이 보호하면서 훈련도 시켜서 독거 노인들한테도 나눠드리고 또 장애가 있는 분들한테.
This centre is the first operating facility of a pet animal theme park, which the provincial administration plans to develop in and around it. Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of G News Plus. We look forward to seeing you next week.